Good morning, afternoon, or evening. It's your painter in residence, Francis McCarthy. It's just after 10. It's a quarter after 10. I gotta hustle. I'm gonna make I got a painting, and I got some frames, but they're kind of honey colored. So I need to make this painting lighter in key, which, you know, the world's been begging for anyway. So that's the mission on this painting. That's in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and take the time to bring one of these honey colored frames over. Just to remind me throughout the process. That's what we got to hit. Okay, put that right there to remind me. Not that frame, but we don't need the exact frame. That's the molding. Now I have a walnut version of that same molding that looks great. Awesome. Fine on my work, just the way it is. Bullet. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I've just spent money on these honey. I was hoping they'd be a little darker in tone, to be honest. I got too many of them. That's a mistake. But we're going to turn adversity into opportunity. That's what we're going to do. Got. This is the 5. Boom, boom. Five, 10. Got a stubby here. The scene we're painting is, I'm going to just call it Tutukaka Estuary. It's not far from the gallery that I still work out over there. Lovely, really. Well, I've painted it before. It's on the channel too. That was like a drone shot. That was somebody's drone shot from the interwebs. That's actually from a video, the YouTube video. And I grabbed a screenshot. And you know what? That painting has its charms, I will say. Okay, we got two things going here. There's the distant ocean. And then a little lower, we've got Mr. Estuary. Or Mr. Head. Essentially, it's a mountain that's, you know, in the water, right? And then here, lower. Not much lower. Okay, and the bio for this painting is, I'm gonna not have this completely straight, but this could be helpful as well. We've got this beach, grasses. The bio is, or the brief, not the bio, excuse me, is quick, light, big brushes, except for our stubby here. We're ready to go. Because I really want to get this very quick underpainting in. And mix some colors before I go. Oops, I got it wrong. It's actually down here, but that's going to work in my favor anyway. There's just a little bit of ocean peeking out there. There we go, that's nice. I did add some black to this. You don't need it. You don't notice it. I would definitely notice it if it was absent. And the black, by black I mean ivory black. This is a morning light. Ooh, morning light Tutukaka. That's good. What can I'll remember. Will I remember? Oh, that's a good title though. Morning light Tutukaka. Bunch of nothing, just a bunch of chewy whatevers, but you know, looking at it, there's some interest. I took this just so you know. I have some nice fancy camera equipment and I love it. I love to use it, and I do really enjoy having the ability to go in and say crop or do other things, you know. But this reference we took here was taken with the phone, and that's good for you to know. You don't need to have a fancy camera. Your phone in your pocket's probably good enough for most things. Because oh, come on. You don't need those details. You're just going to be faking stuff anyway. I mean, come on. That's the milk. I generally seem to be painting when that guy shows up. Well, that's a pretty good bet. Tuesdays. I did other things yesterday. I was going to work on the book, and the book's going to come out probably June. I'm thinking June better because if I can, right now, this is February, going to be March very soon. I still have maybe another month of tourist things. Anything I can get in that gallery right now is a chance of making a sale. And I'm not anxious about it or anything, but you know, I'm not silly either. I'd like to. In fact, I got studio rent. I got lots of things that cost money. Although, you know, I can live pretty dang cheap, and I do. Mostly because I would sacrifice money for the ability to paint any day of the week. But I'm not necessarily. I have things I like to paint, but I've been enjoying doing the coastals. You know, they got their own unique set of challenges. Okay, that's got all that. Now here we're going to want a little bit of I don't want a total straight line, kind of like this. It's going to come up. Light angle. Now I was thinking of having the that's my middle line, but I was thinking of having my assistant put a path in there, but it doesn't really exist there. But I will kind of open it up. We have two big clumps of grass right in the center. We can move things around, and we go now. We definitely go down. Now here's not a place where you want to put an angle in because obviously we got water, and water's always going to be level. If you didn't know, you do. You didn't know, did you? But a lot of times we know these things, but when it comes to painting, we're not using that same brain. So it's good to maybe even make a little note, kind of feed it in there. I like that. That's a bit higher than the reference, but that's good to do, just keeping in mind. I'm pretty sure that this phone camera, so that 28 mil, I have a 28 mil lens, and I have a 28 to 70 zoom now, which is amazing. I haven't been able to get out and do any landscape photography, but I've been messing around with it. It's amazing, including the video that's going up on the channel. That is amazing at photographing the painting process too. I mean, I could almost just do it with that. It was really sharp, and it used to be just a given that, whoops, I gotta get that way. This is a good example of you just pulling inspiration from the reference. You can very easily move things around. You don't want to copy things necessarily exactly where they are. There's some beautiful colors in here, rich gold. So I really want this gold. I've got my frame there to remind me. I am avoiding the bunches of grass right in the middle. I kind of want us to come in. You like my grass? The side of the brush is great for grass. I've been telling you that for years and years. That might be enough. And I'm just indicating there's some beach there. Things may be good to remember is some of these glass have like shadows. Light's very clearly coming from here. It's a nice smooth board. Recently prepped. And my prepping process, I don't mind chatting with you a little bit about that right now. So increasingly I want smooth, very, very smooth. This is hardboard, so much so that I'm switching mostly over to MDF, which is cheaper than hardboard, but superior to me because it's smoother. Okay, so here we got a blue sky, white clouds, and I'm not going to be messing around much. I'm going to be going with a very light blue sky. I know. I might have to, if I put this on the channel, I might have to not see it. It'd still be tonal. It'd still be tonal, but not tonalism necessarily. I'd say that's enough for drawing. We're done with the drawing. Okay. How are we doing for time? That was pretty quick, I think. Very good, very good. So I'm going to stop everything here and do some color mixing. Well, I had my little Zoom microphone on the table, so probably wasn't picking me up that clearly. But I tend to mumble more. I tend to mumble more as we progress through. Now I'm really going to try today, my friends, not to use that little knife, Sometimes I gotta use it, like this sort of cleanup move. You can't do that with the big one, but I don't have to mix with it. I've been doing good, but the painting I set up for the channel yesterday, I could say it was scraping away. I have had complaints, and I'm sorry. I know it's noisy. I know it's loud. Oh. I like my drawing. Not anything fancy. Okay, we're going to need a good heaping helping of, I'm not too worried about making my, I've been, in most of my paintings lately, I've been making a good chunk of light blue. I mean, not a light blue, a lightened blue. Actually, this will suffice for that job because I don't need all this much color for that blue sky. So I'll take about half of that. And ooh, this is what I use a little knife for, just scraping the paint off. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm not going to make a scrapey noise. There, just put that right there. It's okay. And then here we're going to need some more duskiness, a little more lightness. I already know when I put that, it's already got green tendencies. When I put that raw umber in to get me some duskiness, I know it's also going to green it up. So I'm just adding a little bit. Well, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm missing a little bit of color from that. Just bring in a little bit more blue. That's my leftover drawing color there. I think we can move it up a little, put you right there. It's different from this in that it has the black in it. Not that that really matters too much. You don't. Most of the jobs I'm using burn umber for, it don't matter. Okay. Wow. A lot of light in these clouds, so that's going to be too dark. Let's neutralize it. Actually, it won't be too dark for the darkest bits of the cloud. Oh, what am I doing? Oh no, oh no. Yeah, you hear the squeaks? You know I'm messing up. My training. There we go. This one makes noise too, don't get me wrong. Okay, that's gonna be, believe it or not, the darker version I want. Like that. That's my cooler gray. And here a lot of times I might use the burn umber, but I'm using the raw umber. That's a little dark now, I know. Okay, there we go, that's nice. Geez, one more color, and that'll be the white. And it's going to be less creamy than usual, I'm going to tell you right now. In fact, pretty much all the cream is going to just come in from the buff. Gosh, it's really light and bright. And really more creamy than I wanted to. I want a clean white, cleaner white. That's pretty good. I already know. I can always go wider or brighter. So, what am I doing? Just remember, you know, for years I was, well, for about 5 years I wasn't recording, and then for 10 years I wasn't recording all that great. Well, it got better and better. I'll give myself a little bit of credit, but you know, and this last year I've been getting really good. I got the palette going. We started messing with that the year before, or maybe the year before that, but I am getting much faster at my processing now. Still a pain in the keister, but it's so nice to see what's happening on the palette. I keep doing it anyway. Okay, so that's it for the sky colors. We're doing okay. I want that pretty dark and clean. I am going to have some contrast. It's not that I'm not going to have contrast in this painting. It's that the overall feel is going to be lighter and key. Okay, all right, nice. So we can hit our nice honey colored frame. Oh, I did go with the knife that time. All right, we got a kind of cooler green. I made some fresh batch of Mike's green. A lot of time I would have done that, you know, with you, just so you could see how I do it. But we're kind of rushing today. I like that. That's clean. I'm not going to add any red to that. I'm going to just leave that. That's for the shadows. Well, you can't see that. I'm pointing at the. Believe it or not, I am recording the easel. But it's just for sound in these sessions and the palette, and you see the photo reference, and I think I got a pretty good system. It's not amazing, but it's functional, and I see no reason to change it. So. I made a horrible mistake this morning of using some mouthwash. Well, because I hadn't done it last night, and then of course because of that I woke up with a bit of a nasty taste in my mouth. I mean, I brushed my teeth and all that, but that wasn't good. It wasn't good because the state of my mouth as I'm having my first coffee, that was nasty. We all know what that's like. Wow, that Mike's green is pretty much where we want it. I'm going to bring in a little bit of this burnt sienna. That's better. I like that. And it's going to chalk a little bit, but we're going to bring in some yellow ochre as well. That probably would have been better as some orange. Orange is less chalky, more color. Yellow ochre brings in chalk, but nowhere near as chalkiness. Nowhere near as much as the white does. Not even in the same league, but chalkiness nonetheless. And I don't like chalkiness unless it's in the sky. And it has its place. It's fine with sand. It's fine with a lot of things. It's good. We do a light green too. You wait there. Nice. Not overthinking this. Just gonna make a quick one. This is not a pot boiler. It's a real painting. Well, pot boilers are real paintings too. To me, they are. And I haven't really looked at the views on that. There's a pot boiler on the channel right now. And I just said hell with it. I don't care. But I didn't look at the actual views for the video because I don't like to. I don't want to. But I could see the overall views for the channel were up, which means usually Easel Talk's doing good. It could be the live versions of the videos, which hopefully I haven't looked at my member count either. I don't know how many I've lost since sharing some of the live sharing live sessions at a lower res to the public. But you members, I had to do that because there was a lot of videos that were not even getting 1 view, and I just think that's terrible. You know, in the live section, you know, so that way at least it's getting to somebody. I'm liking that. We are nearly done. We're going to do a couple sand tones. The grasses, the grasses have got greens in them. No, bad. Let's see what that looks like for a good grass color. It's kind of unctuous. Yeah, it's kind of close. I think it's a little light. Now we need a tap of the black in that. Now, no one's asked me, but you know, why you got the Mars black and the ivory black, Mike? That'd be a great question. Well, a lot of you know, if you've been with me for a while, that the Mars black mostly I just use for my shadows, because I can use it more transparently because it's more opaque pigment. But the actual base color of Mars black is not as nice in mixes as ivory black. So ivory black is more of my mixing color, and the Mars black mostly functions for the shadows. There are times when I'll grab some of it to throw it, throw into a mix. Not a big deal. That's grass color. Yeah, we got some sand. Not okay. Yeah. This is not going to be that far off from the sky color mixed. A little more. Oh, there are some grays in there. I definitely see that. I don't know if I need to mix them. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Now that needs to be warmed up for sand, even dark sand. I like that. That'll do. I'm not going to get too picky. We got to go. We got to make some hamburgers. I actually barbecue him. I like to barbecue my hamburgers at lunchtime because no one's around. It puts up a ton of smoke, and I don't want to put the neighbors out. You know. That's just thoughtful Uncle Mike is what that is. So I like to cook up a bunch of burgers for the week, and then I eat them throughout the week. And I keep for a while. That's very yellow, that sand. Could have its place though. I'm not going to over lighten that. I can lighten that while I am working. As far as the blue in the water goes, I'm not getting all fancy. I'm not even going to mix it. It's just going to be a reflection of the sky in this painting. It's not a ton of water. I did actually expand it a bit. Okay, colors mixed, drawing done, and we got some other stuff done too. So we'll be back. We'll see ya. Be a little forward. There you go. That's fine. Hello, we're back from lunch. Ho 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 ho. You liking my song? I don't want that. I don't want your stupid backup. Skip for now, thank you. Take your backup. And take a long walk off a very short pier. Okay. We're gonna paint. What the hell? Did this whole computer just restart? Looks like it did. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, because here we go. We're ready. Honey frame. Very light. Low, high key, higher key, higher. You know what? I got me some dust brushes coming, so I'm gonna get a few new ones in the mix. Those are all 6s. 4. I'm glad I got me some more 4s. 4s is the main one I use. I did get me a couple 2s as well. Where are you? I'm glad I did get those 2s and 2s. Pardon me. so cheap. You gotta be careful when you put these brushes away because in this drawer, probably $1,000 worth of brushes. I don't know, a lot. Anyway, these aren't expensive, but I want to break in some more, and I'm going to start with one now. Now these come with some starch in them. They like to do that. I'm just going to pop that. You go there, and you go there. So quite a bit longer than I remember. So, get that. See that stuff? You don't want that in your painting. See that stuff? That's a bunch of whatever. Also, first time with a new brush, I'll get quite a lot of oil in it, and then give that a good wipe. Again, just getting that starch and stuff out of there. I can feel it in there. Generally, the cheaper the brush, the more starch they put in to make it look more nice. I don't mind a bit of looseness, though. For the sky, it's going to be interesting. This is quite long. As a matter of fact, let's pull one that's broken. See, they get very different attributes when they're broken, right? They're both filberts. These also tend to wear much more quickly, I've noticed, than the, say, the Treccles or the Robert Simmons Signet series. I have noticed. Okay, here we go. Ready? What? Can't believe how bright he's going. And that's my darker sky blue. I got plans, I told you. I ain't messing around, son. But I'm going to do something a little different over here. The lightest brush of purple. Makes that purple really added a nice touch to it. So it looks pretty close to. I like that. Okay. Now I'm always deciding at this juncture: do I go in with the grays or do I go in with the light sky blue? In this case, I'm going to go with the grays, but sometimes it's perfectly valid to go in with those lighter sky blues, and either one could work. It's not like you're messing up if you decide either way. Wow, these are so light. Okay. Just a touch darker in a few spots. Love this filbert. There is that bit of velvet there. I'm going back to brighter. It's not even as bright as we're going to end up. I want to avoid my usual tropes. Okay, now we've got to get into some of that blue. We didn't even mix the lighter iteration, but I don't know if we use this. No, that is our lighter iteration. Yeah, there's a toe, there's a bevel, but they're far cruder, at least especially when the brush is new. They're far more crude than the something like the treacle filbert. Still, it's got its uses. And that roughness, it's not so bad in this guy, honestly. Because it's helping to give us a very soft. Very soft edges. Sorry, I don't always finish. Well, yeah, I don't have to tell you. You already know. I don't always finish what I'm saying. Just put that up there. Then we aren't done with the gray. I just felt like we had to. But, yeah, we did use some of that. That's okay. Now, pink won't hurt. That's not what I want. Yeah, I don't want blue here. I want it to look like the clouds coming behind the hit. And we are going brighter. I don't know if I painted anything that bright for a while, but you can see it's a lot brighter. Should have left that alone. You'll have to come in with the brush wiped off. Brush wiped off. I just looked in the camera. I'm very happy with the way this looks, so I don't want to mess with it too much. I want it to feel immediate. I want it to feel like a painting. Gosh, that looks nice, eh? That brush did a brilliant job. Those are great for skies. Almost can't be beat. You will see me use my ear track sometimes for sky. I can make anything work, but somehow the looseness of that just helps me. It's good with the spirit of things. Now, what I have been doing a lot in these coastals lately is going into the water, but not in this case. In this case, I am going to get into the docks. So I'm going to have to put the kettle on because we're fueled by tea, coffee in the morning. Here it is early afternoon, and I don't want a cup of tea. Decaf, I might add. I don't need the caffeine. I'm old people. You know, when you're in your 20s, you could drink caffeinated stuff all night, go to bed. Not a problem. Pure. Pure stevia. Is that what you were thinking? Ooh. That would be worth a fortune if it was what you were thinking. No, it should keep me going for a year. Stevia is very strong. And the bleach, if you want to try it, be careful. Like, it was in 2 bags because it's like, it gets all over everything. But it's very sweet. It's very lovely. It might take a little getting used to, but oh yeah, what I was going to say, don't go with the unbleached. You might think, oh yeah, it's better, it's organic, blah, blah, blah. No, it tastes funky. It tastes kind of like muddy. I don't want it too precious, but we fix little things. I got like 20-something bucks in that frame. Not that frame, maybe. Actually, for this size, it could be a little more. Oh, and just so you know, you're the painter. Probably wants to sell your stuff. Yeah, figure out what you want for your painting. Figure out what that's going to be after the gallery. So, I mean, you're working with galleries, which honestly I prefer, but you know, I'll sell the painting anyway I can. There's some on my site. I should put some more up. I gotta find a way to simplify it. Squarespace really messes me up there. I'm not complaining. But anyway, when it comes to the frame, you just add your costs on top of all that. Don't try and make the money on the frames. Now maybe you're one of these real clever clogs. I'm not. But there's a threshold. If you are not in the high-end market, which I'm not, there's a threshold. Like it's called price points. You've heard of it. I need more control. Yeah, it's pretty much more definitely in the standard tonal work, more typical of me to do sky than darks. Like I was saying, in the coastals, quite often it's good to do the sky, at least get some of the sea in, the sand, and then go for the darks. Using more and more oil there, we'll get a little more fluidity. Too much fluidity. I don't want... We can have some bit of lines there, a bit of darkness there. There's some trees or something sticking up there, don't care. I try to get the basic. An argument could be made for not having darks. With this, I want everything to be lighter and go with the honey frame. But I'm not going to paint it. In fact, one of the issues with this reference was there was haze, and I seldom use it. Use the dehaze filter in the camera raw. Which is, I was watching an excellent video of Andy Hutchins, and it's all about cameras and stuff, so you may not care. I mess with my cameras a bit. But he was making a great point. Even if you're not into cameras, you probably have to work with your reference. And what he was saying is that you don't use every slider in these programs, Be strategic, but one of the Main things you want to think of is almost every adjustment you're making is some sort of adjustment to contrast. Hey, it's a powerful idea. Really, so like that dehaze filter I was mentioning is going to mess with the contrast in one way. And a lot of this stuff I'm painting is going to be underneath lighter bits. Looks like there's paint there. There ain't no paint there. Not to speak of. I like these. I like my dark brush to be kind of small and controlled. Because I draw with it, you know. Painting, you go, draw, I do your painting. Yeah, painting is drawing with color. This is the case where I don't want it like super dark, so I'm just going a little transparent. There'll be a lot of board color coming through. But this area is mostly in shadow. With the edge being a little darker. Think of like, you know, a cup. Okay, that's nice. That bit's actually supposed to be light. Sand. Now here there's not really an edge, but I'm gonna put one. I think it'll be helpful. I don't want it too dark though, that's why you see me wiping off my brush. There we go. And like I was saying earlier, yeah, see that's pretty good. I was saying earlier, one slight diagonal there. And not too dark. Probably darker than I should have gone, but that's alright. Now this is a place where I don't want things too dark. I want to go dark enough that this doesn't feel completely lonely. that's enough of that. Let's go put in the one. Now that brush, too new, too floppy. I don't like getting extra brush dirty, but what a 2, you're a 3. Yeah, it's probably getting time to get some more Robert Simmons 2s in as well. I gotta see what I got at home. I probably have enough art supplies to take me through the rest of my life. I don't know. I worry about it. I mean, I don't lose sleep at night, but when I get, assailed a bit, I get in there and get me some art supplies. Now we're gonna make this into some kind of, and like I was saying, I'm not going super dark on this, so I will have a darkening effect, but nice one. Now with such a small bit like that, I'm not going to worry too much about modulating across the length. Normally that'd be a big priority. Yeah, this is good. This is a fairly new Robert Simmons Signet. Yeah, I could have tried this on gray, but because I was very into, and I think gray could have worked. Now here, there's some kind of groovy, like light greens in there. I'm definitely going to paint those in. Okay. concerned that might be too light. Lighter than the sky. Not lighter than the lightest parts of the sky. But I brought in some, you could see I brought in some Mike's Gray. Which is bluish. Are you bluish? Okay. That's pretty much sand there. Okay. That's what's up. Nice. Good. Yeah, let's go in with the sand, and I think I can use the sky brush for that. I'm going to reset the brush with just some raw umber. Burn umber. Nice. Just get the blue out of it. I think this looser brush will just serve us for this. It's not often you'll be able to do this kind of thing because this brush is new. Usually I have to resort to the move I'm making now, the side move. A little chrome on that, but that's okay. It'll help it tie in that frame. Rabbit anyway. Okay, that's sand. It looks like I did 3 colors for the sand. Which is good. This is bringing in more white. Not that it's super white, but that other color didn't have much white in it. That's a little bit of a paint. That's right. It's actually light, but I think that looks good. Okay, and we have our last sand color. Here we go. That's that little toe. That's a pretty big brush for doing this job. Alright, if I had kept going, which I wanted to, I would have messed up. The water here is not deep. That's the extra sand. Hey. I didn't expect that to happen. One could say, what about the reflections, man? Well, fortunately, they're not in the photo, so I ain't gonna worry about it. Was it better? I don't know. The gray was kind of catching my eyes there. I think with my brush whipped off, I get. Nice. Nice. This is going to have some of that green in there. Yeah, let's go ahead and go with the, we started to, but we got busy with other things. abandon the darker thing there. Watch out for too much consistency. I gotta bring in some of this grass. That build up of paint. Yeah, that kind of thing's going to happen. We're going to whip off the brush and see if we can just soften that a bit. We ended up biting into that water, but that's fine. That's pretty close. It's still a little wider than the reference. So. Getting some grasses there. Let's get into our foliage on the hillsides. That's right. Did you guess? Trickle. Trickle number 2. My favorite foliage brush. I'm happy with how this painting's going. I was almost going to abandon this reference, and then I was looking, because I took some better photos, or different photos, with my better camera, but you know, this is doing it. I'd taken this maybe a month before with my phone. It's working fine. Nice. That was water brush. Nice dark green. Probably spread enough from the dark. I'm going to add a little bit more of this Mike's green to it. Yeah, I love the paint. And half the time I look at my paintings and I go, well, How do I do that? I mean, I kind of know. I'm doing it all the time, but the way I work, I'm always working for freshness and immediacy. So, I'm not like a huge believer in happy accidents. I plan more than that, but they happen in a micro level. Slow down. Rum, rum. I love 5x10 because it's like that 5x7 size. Of course, it's just longer. It allows me to have some immediacy. I'm going to get some green in here. And over on this side, I'm going to lighten that a bit. Well, that's a little dull. Too dull. Let me pretty it up. Too bright. I want it bright. I want some bright bits, but I don't want to start there. That's good. You could maybe argue that this is a little big for this job, but we got that toe.
and get cooked up. Because the lino.
So what you want to watch out for this kind of is like a pretty intense shadow. Don't, yes, you want things contrasty, but don't, you want to have a little bit of give as well. If you go too intense in your transitions, that's a byproduct mostly of overdrafting. Yeah, too much draftsmanship. And if you've heard from me before, I was a drafts person for a drawer forever. But landscape painting isn't, yes, it involves some drawing, it involves some rendering, but it's ideally about a little looser. It's not, when you're clicking into really working every little thing out, I don't think that makes for the best paintings. It's a style, and maybe you're making great paintings that way. I'm not like trying to talk anyone down. I'm not talking about my aims. I'm into the impression of things, although not an impressionist. A lot of red coming through here, which is fine. That's great. It's a feature. Now down here we need to do it for forget. That's just a gray. Really cool. No, not that cool. That's probably getting there. Part of it. And then there's some lighter gray bits too. Some grays would be very helpful down there. I think I could just get them with... Actually, first off, that would be pretty good in that spot. I was painting up on the head. Nice. I'm gonna have some nice greens, like greeny, goldy colors at the tops of these grasses. But if you want some stuff underneath, that's the thing, you know. It's looking good. Okay, back into my greens. we're going to have the lighter green coming in. So we want to get most of this just covered up. It's fine to let the board, the red board, peek through. And here's a place I'm going to go with the Mars instead of ivory, because I know I could get that opacity in there to give me an effect I was looking for. Nice, good. That's what I'm talking about. I picked up. Grasses. This would probably be a good brush for that. I don't really have a color mixed. I've got this leftover sand, which I could definitely repurpose in the one on the wall, which is just chuck a bunch of orange. Well, that's fake as, eh? Whoa! Okay, it went too far. Oh, cat orange is strong. That's why. There we go. That's pretty good. Getting some of that. That's very too strong to do. I should have gone with the Mars yellow in hindsight. As they say, hindsight is 20/20. Yes, I do have some like complementary colors in there. Actually, that's great because that's tamping that down a little. Alright. We're going to have some greens in here. But like I was saying before, I don't want to just have nothing but green there. If I got some stuff underneath, it'll look better. Nice. We are not that far from being done. I'm going to go a little lighter in that water. That's going to be cool. I'm going to have a bit of a white one. No waves, no waves. But, alright, so we need that green. Yeah. Well, I mixed you for the upstairs. I'm still going to use you up there, but you might be very good for the grass. Okay. That's why I tell you, I love the permanent green light. I can go ways without using it, but it's such a problem solver. It really makes things nice and green. And when you consider, I was looking at a video the other day, a guy was talking about 4K video and the color spectrum that we can perceive. Okay, I'm going to go a little more. I use the word unctuous. There's a lot of chroma there. It's a lot of like we need some more like straw type tones too, I can see, but I'm painting the green right now. Here we go. Too much, you think? Maybe. I'm going to balance it out with a lot more of a reddish tone. You think that's too far? Do you? Oh, you're probably right. And yeah, I was mentioning I want more like straw type colors, but here we go. We're going to get in some of this too. Start with like more sand. You've lost a lot of the sand feel. I mean, there's some of it there. I usually don't like light things at the bottom, but I don't want this to look like one contiguous bit of grass either, so. These horizontal strokes make you think of the ground. That's the plan anyway. Now I don't want to go too light there because I'm going to bring that light in the water, like I mentioned. Well, we're pretty close. We can do a few other blades of grass, but I think that's getting a pretty good effect. Also, our darks feel a little lonely and isolated. We're going to smash it with this burnt sienna green combo. You don't want to have blade, but if you like that, it'd be good. that's good. Now if I go too far with it, now one thing I do, you're gonna wonder why I think I was throwing away all that CAD. Good. Sometimes it's the thing that will bring in the opacity necessary. That looks fake as. But it might be just the, yep. You want too strokey. I got years of that. Okay. Highlights. Now this is too kind of orangey, but I think if I just mix it with that, that should give me, yeah, it's a little dark. Pretty good for the highlights, I'd say, on the hills. I hope. Maybe not. Nice. Could go a little further. Yes, the yellow ochre is a little more chalky, but I don't want this too present up here. Oil. Especially since the more wet paint you're working over, the more, like, you could probably need to put some oil in your paint to get it to glide. This would be better with a smaller brush. Happy with that. I wanted to do the coastal book before this gallery got busy with me. I'm so glad I waited. I'm so glad, because it was. I am gonna do it. You know I'm gonna do it. That's nice. That's good. shoot. You see that? I lost control, man. Man. I'll fix that. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, if I need... Yeah, I probably shouldn't do it. Let's get another bus journey. This is like super chromatic here. Okay. Just got to make this work. I want that lighter in the water thing. I don't want to make it a all day project of it. Whoa, that's way too far, man. It's way too bright, man. That's what I want, though. It's good. It's good. So this is as shocking as that was. I didn't make very much paint. Like that, except for how I messed up my sand a little bit. Okay. Hey, remember I was talking about, I gotta put my glasses on for this. Remember I was talking about enlarge this a bit. beautiful greens over here, and I think that's going to be cool. It's kind of a subtle thing, yeah, but groovy. There's so much interesting stuff in the grass you could do. Too much oil. I mean, that's good. Otherwise, we really risk making the grass into the subject, which we don't want. Hello. Oh, the grass looks good. This whole thing looks good. Oh, this looks good. And we are, I think, done. I'm going to soften a few things. Oh, you're still hearing the cicadas, but less. And this cool morning's quite cool. It's not overly hot right now. It's warmed up though, for sure. There's no paint on this brush. I wiped all the paint off. Happy. Now, this don't kind of bother me. Hopefully, there's enough hopefully there's no. I tried to wipe this brush off so there was no orange or anything in it. You don't want to smooth all that out. We want to see the drama of the performance. Okay, we're done. See ya. Thank you for joining me. That looks nice. I think it looks nice. Okay, bye.